A guy came into my shop last month, 3 months into owning his Model Y, and he showed me his insurance bill. It was over $4,000 a year. That is 65% higher than the national average. And that was before the charging setup, the subscriptions, and a registration surcharge he never saw coming because nobody told him. So today I am telling you, these are 7 hidden expenses that Tesla will never put on their website. Number 1, the insurance premium shock. This is the one that catches people completely off guard. You walk into a Tesla showroom, you see the sticker price, you do the math on gas savings, and you think you have this figured out. But then you call your insurance company, and the number that comes back makes your stomach drop. The average cost to insure a Tesla right now sits around $4,150 per year. For reference, the national average for all vehicles is $2,500. So you are paying roughly $1,600 more per year just to insure the thing. And it gets worse depending on the model. The Model Y, which is supposed to be the practical family crossover, ranks near the bottom for insurance affordability. Out of over 800 vehicles tracked, only about 180 are more expensive to insure. That means it is more expensive to insure than almost everything else on the road. And why does it cost so much? Because Tesla certified body shops charge labor rates up to $305 per hour. There are not enough of those shops, so there is zero price competition. Your insurance company sees all of that and jacks up your rate to match. Now, Tesla does offer their own insurance program, and I have had people ask me about it. In theory, it sounds great. They use a safety score based on your actual driving behavior to set your rate. But here is the catch. It is only available in about 13 states, and customer service has been rough. The program currently holds an F rating with the Better Business Bureau. One owner I talked to said it took him 3 weeks to reach a real human after a fender bender claim. So you might save on the premium, but good luck when something actually goes wrong. I personally think it is going to get worse before it gets better. Vandalism claims against Teslas have been climbing. People are keying them, smashing windows, all because of how they feel about the CEO. Insurance companies are watching those claims pile up. If that trend continues, your comprehensive coverage is going up, whether you have ever filed a claim or not. Now, you would think that at least you are saving money on gas, right? That is the whole pitch. But what Tesla does not show you is the bill you get before you ever plug in for the first time. Number 2, the home charging setup nobody budgets for. Tesla makes charging sound so simple. Just plug in at home and wake up with a full battery. That is true. But getting your home ready to actually do that costs real money. The Tesla wall connector itself runs about $475. That is just the hardware. Then you need an electrician to install it. If your electrical panel is modern and right next to your garage, you might get out of there for $700 to $1,200 total. But if your panel is older, or across the house from where you park, or does not have enough capacity, you are looking at a panel upgrade. That alone can add $500 to $2,500 on top of everything else. I have seen total install bills go past $3,500. The frustrating part is that the federal tax credit for charger installation, which covers 30% up to $1,000, expires at the end of June this year. So that safety net is about to disappear too. But the charging costs do not stop at installation. If you live in an apartment and rely on superchargers for everything, your monthly charging bill can actually rival what you would spend on gas in a 35 miles per gallon car. And that is not what the brochure promised. But all of that is nothing compared to what Tesla just pulled with their software, because they are now charging you monthly for a safety feature that a $22,000 Honda gives you for free. Number 3, the subscription fee trap. This one fires me up, and I am not going to apologize for it. Tesla just moved full self-driving to subscription only in February. That is $99 per month, $1,200 a year, and for what exactly? A system that still requires your hands on the steering wheel and your eyes on the road at all times. It is not self-driving. It is a very expensive driver assistance feature. But here is the part that really makes my blood boil. Tesla also quietly removed standard autopilot lane keeping from new 2026 vehicles. The car now only ships with basic cruise control. If you want it to keep you centered in your lane on the highway, you have to pay for the full self-driving subscription. A Honda Civic includes lane keeping for free. A Toyota Camry includes it for free. A Hyundai Elantra that costs half the price of a Model 3 includes it for free. Tesla is now charging you $100 a month for a safety feature that economy cars give away. I worked on a guy's Corolla last week that had better standard driver assistance than a brand new $40,000 Tesla. Tell me that is not backwards. On top of that, there is premium connectivity. $10 a month or $100 per year. Without it, you lose streaming, live traffic visualization, satellite view maps, and the in-car web browser. You are basically left with a giant touchscreen that does less than your phone does for free. Now those subscription fees are annoying, but this next one is the expense that actually makes people sick to their stomach. Because a parking lot fender bender that would cost you $800 on a normal car can turn into a $3,000 nightmare on a Tesla. Number 4. Collision repair bills that will ruin your day. I had a customer bring in his Model 3 after somebody backed into his rear bumper in a parking lot, and it was not a big hit. The kind of thing that would be an $800 fix on a Chevy Malibu. His estimate came back at over $3,000. And the reason is simple. Tesla's body panels are aluminum. The sensors behind those panels need recalibration after any impact. And only Tesla-certified shops can do the work using Tesla's proprietary repair procedures and genuine parts. For a minor bumper scrape, you are looking at $800 to $2,000. A door skin replacement with paint runs $1,500 to $3,000. And if you get into a real collision, anything involving multiple panels or structural components, the bill jumps to $8,000, $10,000, even $15,000. I have seen estimates on a Model S that would have totaled out a regular sedan. One body shop owner I talked to says the average Tesla collision repair in his facility runs about $7,000, and I wish I was making that up. And do not even get me started on glass. A windshield replacement on a Model 3 runs $900 to $1,600. On a Model Y, the roof glass panel can top $2,000 installed. Compare that to a Camry windshield at $300 to $400, and you start to see the pattern. But the repair cost is only half the problem. There are so few certified shops you might wait weeks just to get your car in. Meanwhile, you are either paying for a rental out of pocket or you are stuck without a car. I have a buddy who waited a full 6 weeks for a quarter panel repair on his Model Y just to get the car back. If you are getting value out of this, do me a favor and hit subscribe. I put out videos like this every week, so you do not get blindsided by stuff the dealers and manufacturers leave out. Now this next expense is the one that nobody sees coming because you never get a bill for it, but it might cost you more than everything else on this list combined. Number 5. Depreciation that hits like a freight train. This is the silent killer of Tesla ownership. You will never see a depreciation bill in your Tesla app. You will not notice it month to month. But when you go to sell or trade in your Tesla, the number on screen is going to hurt. A Model Y right now is losing roughly 50 to 60% of its value after 5 years. A Model S drops even harder, around 65%. So if you paid $60,000 for a well-equipped Model Y, you could be looking at a car worth maybe $24,000 to $30,000 in 5 years. But here is what makes Tesla depreciation different from other brands. And this is the part that would make me lose sleep if I owned one. Tesla cuts their own prices without warning. They did it multiple times over the past few years, sometimes knocking thousands of dollars off overnight. And every time they do that, the resale value of every existing Tesla on the road drops with it. You could owe more on your car loan than the car is worth the day after a Tesla price cut, and that is not normal. Ford and Toyota do not randomly slash prices on a Tuesday and tank their own customers' equity. I talked to one guy who bought a Model S for around $80,000, and 2 years later, similar models were listing for under $50,000. That is $30,000 in value gone in 24 months. And I am going to say something that might get some heat in the comments. The political backlash and vandalism situation is making this worse. Some buyers are actively avoiding the brand now, which shrinks the pool of people who want to buy your used Tesla. That is just the reality of the market right now, whether you agree with it or not. And speaking of expenses you never planned for, this next one literally shows up in your mailbox from the state, and most Tesla owners have no idea it is coming until they rip open the envelope. Number 6. The state registration fee that nobody mentions. When you buy a gas car, part of the price you pay at the pump goes to road maintenance through fuel taxes. When you buy a Tesla, you do not pay fuel tax. So 39 states have created separate electric vehicle registration fees to make up the difference. And some of them are steep. Texas hits you with a $400 first-time registration fee, then $200 every year after that. Pennsylvania is moving to $250 per year. Oregon is testing a per-mile road usage charge. But the registration fee itself is not even the part that got me fired up about this one. Over 5 years of ownership, these fees ADD up to $1,000 or more on top of your normal registration costs. In Texas alone, that is $1,400 in the first 5 years. And nobody at the Tesla delivery center is going to mention this when you pick up your car. I have talked to owners who found out about it for the first time when they opened their renewal notice from the state. And the worst part is, these fees keep going up every year in most states, so it is not like you can budget for it once and forget about it. The frustrating thing is that in a lot of states, the flat electric vehicle fee actually costs more than what a gas car owner pays at the pump in federal fuel tax over a whole year. So when somebody tells you electric vehicle owners are just paying their fair share, pull up the numbers because it does not add up. But this last one is the expense that makes me the angriest on this entire list, because it made every single Tesla on the road $7,500 more expensive overnight, and there was nothing any owner could do about it. Number 7, the federal tax credit that no longer exists. This one is less of a hidden expense and more of a hidden price increase. Until September of last year, you could get up to $7,500 back on your federal taxes when you bought a new Tesla, but that credit is gone, and the used electric vehicle credit of $4,000 is also gone. There is no replacement legislation on the table. That means every Tesla on the lot right now is effectively $7,500 more expensive than it was a year ago. If you bought your Model 3 last August, you got that credit. If you buy one today, you pay the full price. Tesla's own sales numbers tell the story. Deliveries dropped 9% in 2025. And they lost their title as the world's top electric vehicle maker to BYD. The credit disappearing was a huge part of that, but it gets worse if you already own one. The used electric vehicle credit dying also hurts resale values. Previously, a buyer picking up a used Tesla could get up to $4,000 back at tax time, and that helped keep used prices from falling further. Now that is gone, which means your used Tesla is worth even less when you go to sell it. So look, I am not anti-Tesla. I think they make some impressive machines, and the technology is legitimately ahead of most of the competition. But if you are going to buy one, you need to go in with your eyes open. Add up the insurance, the charging setup, the subscriptions, the registration fees, and the depreciation, and you could easily be looking at an extra $10,000 to $15,000 over 5 years that never showed up in the sales pitch. I did a video called 15 Expensive Mistakes Tesla Owners Should Never Make. That one pairs perfectly with this. I would watch it next because there is one maintenance mistake on that list that sneaks up on you around year 3, and if you miss it, the repair bill is ugly. I will link it on screen right now.